open this meeting of the Select Committee on Transport, Public Service Administration, Public Works and Infrastructure, and Monitoring and Evaluation, where today we are dealing with the three items. It will be the reports first, and then deal with the minutes, and then deal with an update on our forthcoming trip. Allow me to take this opportunity to extend a word of welcome to all the honorable members on the platform. We are mainly going to take into account the fact that this is the budget time. We have done our work, so we just need to adopt the reports. I believe that we have the National School of Government, Public Service Administration, Public Service Commission. We have transport, we have public works and infrastructure, and then we have DPME reports to adopt. So I suggested that let's start first with the vote 40. We request the content advisor, Dr. Clark, if honorable members agree, to go straight to the observation and then the recommendation. Vote 30. Let me also extend a word of welcome to the public and also the media team and also the parliamentary staff. Over to you, Dr. Clark.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the first observation and key finding is that the department expressed concern that our country continues to suffer a number of road fatalities every year. The 2019 baseline was in fact 12,000 rand, and contributing to this, the department reported was community safety, the continued use of unroadworthy old taxis, and solid transport regulations, which is maybe a gap. The second key finding, it is targeted at potholes reporting through the Sunroad portal, which is part of the Balazonke pothole repair program, must be closed within 14 days. That's the target. But the committee was able to delay that based on personal use of the portal. Committee member could report that months after a pothole had been reported, it had not yet been attended to. And the department reported that the system also depends on the involvement of municipalities and provincial departments responsible for roads. The third finding is that on 16th March, it was reported that the Central Line in the Western Cape was partially opened. However, no undertaking has yet been secured from the Department of Human Settlements, the Cape Town and the Housing Development Agency in respect of the resettlement of the people along the Cape Town Central Line in Langa, Philippi, and Khayelitsha. The department also reported that delays in the implementation of the integrated public transport network as a result of protracted consultations with taxi operators in respect of the establishment of vehicle operating companies. It's however anticipated that Mangaung and Rassenburg IPTNs will commence with operations in May 2023, whereas Go Durban IPTN will commence with operations in June 2023. The next observation is that all three suites of government that experienced difficulties in reducing road fatalities, and the department, together with the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, is therefore commissioning an impact evaluation study on the National Road Safety Strategy. Importantly, Chair, the deadline of January 2023 for the scrapping of illegally convertible panel vans was not reached. And a survey on the extent of illegal taxi operations has been conducted, which 370 vehicles on e-natives were cross-matched with 119,292 vehicles on the OLAS system. And in that way, it was determined that 64% of minibus vehicles are actually unmatched and therefore operating illegally. The department is currently consulting with the taxi industry on its intention to set the date in 2025 as a revised cut-off date for the scrapping of illegally converted panel vans and unsafe taxis. A large portion of the approximately 40,000 of the taxis initially identified for recapitalization could not be recapitalized because of operating without valid operating license, which was a requirement for recapitalization. Point number 8, the license card production machine is obsolete and prone to breakdowns. And this poses a risk to the production of the 6.5 million license over the ATF period. The department is in the process of procuring a new machine. Lastly, an assessment undertaken by the department determined that 3 provinces, being Northwest, Northern Cape and Western Cape, did not have dedicated public transport law enforcement units. So that's the key observations. Jade, would you want me to complete the observations and the recommendations and get inputs from members?
To the recommendation. Go straight to the recommendation now.
Okay. So the first recommendation, Chair, and this came strongly from all members, was that the department should not allocate its resources in a manner that is skewed towards certain provinces and neglects others. Project services rural areas should be amongst the priority projects to be identified together with stakeholders during the 2023-2022 financial year as part of the regional integration strategy that the department will be setting. That the department must assist the cities of Mzanduzi, Buffalo City and Mbombela in meeting the readmission criteria of National Treasury so that they can regain entry to the integrated public transport network program. The department should expedite the implementation of digital driving licenses. It should also increase its efforts to increase the patrol of South Africa's coastal borders, as porous borders allowed for the illicit trade of goods and portray the negative international image. The last two. Given the burden on the South African network, the target of only 10% of freight moved from rail to rail should be revised, with the intention of increasing the percentage. Lastly, the department should verify and test the appetite of the private sector to invest in rail infrastructure as part of the process of finalizing the rail private sector participation framework to be approved by Cabinet during 2023-2024. And the committee cautioned against a scenario where little public investment is made in the hopes that the private sector will make such investment.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Honorable members, the committee report is before the committee. This is dealt with in terms of this will also apply to the other budgets that we'll be dealing with. Rule 114 says that a committee may proceed with business irrespective of the number of delegates present, but when a question is to be decided, delegates representing at least 5 provinces must be present. A question is decided by a supporting vote of at least 5 provinces. So therefore, honorable members, the question to be decided is that the report on vote 40 be adopted. Those that are in support of the report adoption, can they do so by using the raise your hand option on the platform?
Chairperson,
Hello, Mshodi.
I vote in favor of the report, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mshodi. Thank you.
I've got a problem where I am to raise my hand on my system.
Thank you. Ready?
Sure.
Dr. Clark, can you indicate to the committee how many members voted in favor? Dr. Clark?
Yes, Chair, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 in total.
Can you name the provinces for record purposes?
Yes, Chair, we have Honorable Member Tango from Gauteng, Honorable Member Khai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Member Moyaman from Northern Cape, Honorable Member Matlodi
From Free State?
from Free State, yes, Chair.
And then
Honorable Member Hugo
from Northwest? And then Honorable Liliat Mamrakhan from Limpopo.
Yes, Chair.
So therefore we have 6 provinces supporting the adoption of the report. Can members take their hands down, lower their hands? Those that are objecting to the adoption of the report, can they also raise their hands? Can you indicate that for record purpose, advocate? I'm Dr. Tlap.
Yes, Chair, that's Honorable Matapeko.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Matula. You can you can lower your hand. Those that abstain, can they indicate by using the raise your hand option? Can you indicate that, Dr. Tlap?
Yes, Chair, I note Honorable Lund abstain.
Thank you. Honorable Lund, you can lower your hand. Other members, therefore, the report of vote 30 is to be adopted by 6 provinces. Will recommend that to the House for adoption. Can we then move to public works? Which one is ready? Dr. Clark?
Yes, Chair, Enrico will allow public work. Sorry, public works for us here.
Thank you. Then we'll go to the observations and also the.
Chair, I'm not Shamara has a hand raised, Chair.
Hi, Shamara.
Hi, good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members and colleagues. Chair, my apologies. I just want to bring something to your attention and perhaps get clarity on it. I see Honorable Mamarakhane voted on behalf of Limpopo, and then Honorable Matavula also voted against. Honorable Matavula is not allowed to vote as a member. Only provinces are voting at the moment. So that vote should not be recorded. And then Honorable Lon, just clarity as to whether he's voting on behalf of the Western Cape, please. Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Sorry, Chair, can I just check? Honorable Matavula, the primary member from Limpopo, on the list, or has the list been changed? I just want to double check that.
Yes, I think it's a matter that can you check that with us, Honorable Shamara?
Yes, Chair. I'm looking at the list at the moment, and Honorable Mamarakhane is the in fact, both the members are members of the committee. It's Honorable Mamarekhane and Honorable Matavula, but only one member is allowed to vote. So perhaps between the two of them, they can decide. The list has been changed, Honorable Lont. Do you want me to share it with you? Thank you.
Just for future record purposes, but I trust your word.
Thank you, Honorable Lord. But also the question that was posed by Shamara, I guess that Honorable Lord is voting on behalf of the province of Western Cape, unless there's another indication.
Correct, Chair. Correct.
Yes, Honorable Lord. Thank you. Honorable members,
Correct.
Thank you, Honorable Lord. Therefore, the report is duly adopted. I don't know as to how I'm going to deal now with that aspect of the two members, Shamara. What does the rules provide?
Chair, the rule is really not that explicit, as in it won't dictate to us which member can vote, because both of them are permanent members of the committee. But usually it's the party with the majority numbers in that particular province that will vote. But perhaps either of the members could clarify that matter for us. Thank you.
Can we agree that it's a matter that can be because in any way we still have 5 provinces that have voted in support. We have 6 provinces, so if on the point that we are raising now, I think it's a matter that can be sorted out outside this, outside, so that at least for future purposes, the matter is clarified, then there's no confusion. Can you agree on that approach?
Yes, Chair, let's agree on that approach, because I think Eastern Cape would also have a similar situation. So
Yes.
with the replacement of the late Honorable Apleni, there may be a delegate from the Eastern Cape who might be part of this committee. So I'll suggest that maybe you take it up with Advocate Shamara, and perhaps it should go then to the Rules Committee for it to clarify for all the committees, because it may not necessarily only affecting this province, it may be affecting other provinces as well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Khai, for that guidance. Honorable members, the report is therefore duly adopted. Let's then go to the observation and recommendation of vote 13. Over to you, Dr. Clark.
Thank you, Chairperson. As with the previous report, we'll start with the observations. Thank you, Nico. Thank you. Committee members, the first observation is that the department is making a strategic shift towards attracting the capacity and skills from the private sector to work in partnership with government to improve the conditions of specific facilities. Known as the Refurbishment, Operate and Transfer Program, it is planned to be rolled out in 2 phases, with the first phase being a project on at least 3 strategic facilities that will require immediate intervention, and the second phase being a long-term rollout of the program to the remainder of the high priority facilities. The department is preparing to test market responsiveness of the program to be implemented in 5 buildings in the city of Cape Town. And if I may, Chair, so this is the recommendation we made to the Department of Transport. We need to test the appetite of the private sector first to see the willingness to come aboard, if I may, Chairperson. The second observation is that the department plays a significant role in the development of smart cities, and such development takes into consideration the smart city principles of ease of movement, safety, multi-use, green buildings, and work-life balance. This role includes serving on the steering committee that identifies solutions to challenges such as that faced in the Mooikloof Megacity project in Pretoria, where the investment commitment has been made, but the east of the capital city of Tshwane, there's a lack of bulk services. The precinct plan for the Salvokop government precinct has been completed, and the project is currently in phase 1 of implementation of rollout, including servicing of the land and installation of access roads. The department is in the process of contracting with client departments to be housed in the precinct. The department reported that for the 2022-23 financial year, it was not necessary to withhold any EPWP transfers, as grant requirements were met by all provincial departments. The refurbishment project at the Parliamentary Village is currently prioritizing the removal of asbestos, as this is a health and safety risk. The department exemplifies best practice through the use of its digital system that allows the department to maintain a near 100% payment of invoices within the 30 days prescribed by national.
My apology, Dr. Clark. Enrico, can you mute? You can continue, Dr. Clark. My apology for that.
So yeah, the recommendation change, I think from many sectors, there's been concern about the construction mafia. So the first recommendation is that the department must continue with its efforts to address the risk posed by the construction mafia, which is currently being addressed through the project hijack risks identified by the department. This will complement measures such as the Critical Infrastructure Protection Act, which contains important provisions related to the safeguard of critical infrastructure. Thank you, Enrico. The second recommendation is that the department prioritize the business process automation. The department supports client departments which are widespread, and business process automation, as acknowledged by the department, eliminates or minimizes human intervention to improve operational efficiency. The third one is that the department explore the use of catalytic funding to unlock the development of smart cities, such as the Mooikloof Megacity project in Pretoria, the Nkosi City adjacent to Kruger National Park, the Durban Metropolis, and the Lanseria Smart City in the Gauteng West Rand. Through the National Treasury innovation of allowing national and provincial departments to spend out-the-year MTF out-the-year allocations, such catalytic funding is now available. The last one, Chief, that the department should take concerted steps towards improving low payment rates, including declaring intergovernmental disputes where necessary. The department previously emphasized that the delay on the part of organs of state in paying outstanding debts and service charges to the NPTE affects the financial viability of the entity. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Honorable members, we will again take a decision in terms of 114. Those that vote in favor of adoption of the report, can they do so by
Chairperson, good morning. It's Honorable Moshodi again. I vote in favor of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Moshodi.
Yes, I'm having a problem of raise my hand where I am, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Moshodi. Honorable members, we have. Can you indicate that, Dr. Clark, for record purposes?
Yes, Chairperson, we have Honorable Dutuvo from Northwest, Honorable Mameregan from Limpopo, Honorable Gai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Moyaman from Limpopo, and Honorable Dango from Gauteng.
Moyaman from Northern Cape, Dr. Clark. And Moshodi from Free State. Thank you. Therefore, can members lower their hands? Can we have those that are voting against? raising their hand? Thank you. Can you just indicate that, Dr. Clark, for record purposes?
I noted Honorable Matubula as against Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Can you take your hand down, Honorable Matubula? Can you have those that are abstaining, indicating? Can you indicate that, Dr. Clark?
Yes, Chair, I've noted Honorable Lund as abstaining.
Honorable Lund and also Honorable Sonia.
Yes, and Honorable Boshoff, Chairperson.
Boshoff. Thank you. Honorable members, therefore the report is duly adopted. And will then recommend the report to the House for adoption. Let's then go to the Department of Monitoring and Evaluation. That is vote 9. Again, Dr. Clark, if the committee allows, let's go to observations and recommendation of the report.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson and members. The first observation was from the committee side, an explanation was sought on the increased allocation towards the administration program, while there is a reduction in the allocation towards public sector monitoring and capacitation. The department responded that it appointed specialists who are able to implement the department mandate without having to outsource, and cost of company allocations are under the administration program. The department did however add that it had lost 29 funded posts as part of the COVID-19 budget reprioritization process, and requested the committee to note its concern that further budget cuts will affect the ability of the department to execute its mandate. I might pause you to say, Chair, you will recall that in fact the department says that if there are any further cuts, they would be on their knees. So it's something we'll definitely keep an eye on when the next budget cycle is tabled before the committee. Item 4.2, Chairperson. The 2019 review of the National Development Plan identified that in the absence of a social compact around advancing the National Development Plan, or at least a shared implementation and monitoring framework, it is difficult to account for the contribution or lack thereof of the private sector, organized labor, or civil society. The department reported that it has recommended that in addition to the overarching social compact, sector compacts should be concluded to guide all social partners in a particular sector. Item 4.3. The department has been working closely with the Department of Cooperative Governance in respect of the first generation District Model 1 plan, District Development 1 plans, including engaging with provinces on lessons learned and identifying aspects that require further strengthening. Such aspects include that all government across the 3 spheres budget and strategic priorities for a particular area must find expression in such one plans, and that catalytic projects must be identified by districts. Item 4.4. The 2019 review also found that only 30% of the actions required to implement the National Development Plan was on track. Outcomes related to reducing poverty, inequality, and unemployment are least favorable. The department is in the process of finalizing its 10-year review of the National Development Plan. 4.5. Through various approaches, example, monitoring and evaluation theory of change and techniques, example, triangulation of qualitative quantitative data, the department charts its efforts on departmental outcomes and ensures the credibility of its findings. The introduction of a universal healthcare system, such as the NHSI system, for example, emanates from recommendations of the department. The committee recommends that the minister should ensure that the party 1 monitors indicators in relation to department across the sphere budget expenditure and strategic focus in rural areas. The strategy or framework, 5.2. The strategy or framework for monitoring municipalities framework should cover political interference in the administration and should also identify legislative measures necessary to allow MECs and ministers to intervene at an earlier stage before service delivery in a municipality has completely collapsed. The performance and accountability measures should be put in place for acting HODs and DGs who are not required to enter into performance agreements. In its annual review of the annual performance plans of departments, the department should express itself on whether the targets set by departments reflect the setting of targets that heeds the call for an acceleration of the attainment of the National Development Plan outcomes. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Clark, for taking us through the observation and also the recommendation. Honorable members, again, in terms of 114, that is how we are going to take our decision. Let those that are voting in favor of the report indicate that through the raise your hand option.
Chairperson, good morning,
just to be
Chairperson.
more accurate,
It's Honorable
Can we say-
Mushodi again from the Free State, Honorable Chairperson. I vote in favor of the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mushodi. Thank you, Honorable Mushodi. Honorable Dango?
I just want to say, Chairperson, that you should call upon which provinces vote for or against, not which individuals. That creates a bit of a problem,
Thank
a
you.
challenge.
Thank you, Dango.
I've raised my hand to vote for from Gauteng. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Dango. Yes, Dr. Clark?
Okay. So I've noted as voting in favor, Honorable Dango from Gauteng, Honorable Gai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Mamerichan from Honorable Moyamang from Northern Cape, Honorable Mamerichan from Limpopo, Honorable Matlodi from Free State, and Honorable Dudubo from Northwest.
Thank you. Dr. Clark, honorable members, can you lower your hand? Can we get provinces that are voting against? Honorable Dodofu, can you lower your hand? I think there's a confusion because you raised your hand in favor. Note Honorable Matebula. Yes, Dr. Clark, can you indicate that?
I note Honorable Matebula is voting against the report.
Thank you. Can we have provinces that are abstaining? Thank you. Yes, Dr. Clark.
Chairperson, I've noted Honorable Lund and Honorable Kusop is voting against the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Osho from Mpumalanga and Honorable Lund from Western Cape.
Yes,
Thank
Chair.
you. Thank you, honorable members. Can lower your head. Honorable members, the report, therefore, is duly adopted by 6 provinces. We will recommend the report to the House to be adopted. Thank you, honorable members. Can we then move to the Public Service Administration, National School of Government, and also Public Service Commission. That will be vote 11, vote 7, and vote 12. Again, Dr. Clark, let's go through the observation and also the recommendation.
I'd like to remind the committee that we dealt with the Department of Public Service and Administration as well as the Center for Public Service Innovation, which is a line item in the budget of the department.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct, Dr. Clark.
In respect of the Department of Public Service and Administration, the first observation was that the committee requested an update on progress on the implementation of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into Allegations of State Capture, commonly known as the State Capture Report recommendation. The department reported that it last year hosted an anti-corruption conference at which the report recommendations were discussed in detail. The department will furthermore develop a guide to support public servant whistleblowers who are in or require witness protection. Such a guide will supplement the provisions of the Witness Protection Act and the Protected Disclosures Act. Second observation, the department reported that the amendments to the Public Administration Management Act will introduce the necessary legislative provisions for the integration of a single public service. Third observation, the department reported that there are currently 350 precautionary suspension cases across national departments at a salary cost of 61.9 billion. There are an additional 292 precautionary suspensions across provincial departments at the salary cost of 203.8 million rand. The department will implement a number of measures to address the status quo, including the establishment of an independent panel at the Ministerial Committee to review long-term suspensions in the system. Other efforts will include strengthening the role of labor relation officers in disciplinary processes, as there is a tendency to make use of legal service units as opposed to labor relation officers, which might delay processes. The public sector collective agreement has been concluded for the 2024 year. However, DPSA has identified that not all departments fully implement all aspects of collective agreements, leading to disputes. DPSA will therefore have a specific focus on monitoring the implementation of collective agreements. The fifth observation, during 2019, directives were issued in relation to early retirement without incurring penalties of public servants. Such an approach contributes to the reduction of the public sector wage bill, as public servants on the top salary notches are replaced with new entrants of the lowest notch. The sixth observation, there has been challenges in the implementation of the public service job evaluation system. The identified service provider indicated its intention to exit the South African market. The subsequent SEM process to identify alternative service providers were unsuccessful and was to be repeated. Once developed, the system will first be piloted within the cluster before it is implemented across departments. The observations in relation to the Center for Public Service Innovation. The department is supporting various multi-year projects, including a virtual two-song center in the Northern Cape. The project has been identified as a flagship project for the Premier of the province. It is anticipated that a minimum viable product for the virtual two-song center will be developed by the third quarter of the current financial year. The CPSI continues to partner with youth organizations to promote the participation of youth in the development of service delivery innovations. The CPSI plays a mentoring role during engagement with youth and hackathons, a collaborative computer programming event. The CPI this year hosted #PSIHack22 as part of a program of dedicated support to developers of public sector innovative solutions and co-hosted the Youth ICT and Business Backward Program in Siyabuswa, Johannesburg, and Mthatha. Recommendations in relation to the Department of Public Service and Administration. First recommendation, that the department maintains constant measures to monitor compliance to the probation against public servants conducting business with the state and the implementation of consequence management where there is non-compliance. The department resources the public administration ethics, integrity, and disciplinary tribunal assistance unit with sufficient capacity, a conducive management structure, and specialized skills to ensure that it conducts its work effectively. The last recommendation, that the department take into consideration that the Public Service Amendment Bill mirrors a newly introduced provision in the Municipal Systems Act, which prohibits the senior manager from political office in a political party. The department should obey of the fact that such a provision was the basis for an application to have the Act reviewed and set aside. The recommendations in respect of the Centre for Public Service Administration, that the CPSI consider identifying South African police servant sites for replicating of the digitization of records to address the challenge of dockets being unaccounted for. That the CPSI, together with the DPSI and the Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, assist departments with business process optimization before existing systems are digitized. This will ensure that the digitization process does not entrench processes that might be inefficient. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Honorable members, again, in terms of Roman 4, can we have those that vote in favor of the adoption of the report, indicating that through the raise your hand option?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Mushodi, again, I vote in favor of the report, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mushodi. For record purpose, Dr. Clark.
Yes, Chairperson, I've noted Honorable Dango from Gauteng, Honorable Khai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Muyaman from the Northern Cape, Honorable Mawadehane from Limpopo, Honorable Maklodi from Free State, and Honorable Duduvo from Northwest as voting in favor of the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Can members lower their hand? Can we then have those members that are objecting against provinces as guided? Yes, Dr. Clark.
Yes, Chairperson, I've noted Honorable Matubula as voting against the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Matebula. Can lower your hand. Can we have members that are voting in terms of abstaining?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, I have noted Honorable Boso from Pumalanga and Honorable Lund from Western Cape as abstaining in the consideration on the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Boshoff and Honorable Lund. Honorable members, the report is fully adopted by 6 provinces. Therefore, we'll recommend the report to the House for adoption. Can we then move to vote 7, which is the National School of Government? Is that the National School of Government? Yes. Again, Dr. Clark, let's go to the observation and recommendation.
Yes, Chair. I may remind members by this time the mother department, the DPSA had already presented the global view, Chair. So the observations and recommendations might seem limited compared to the others.
Okay.
But the first observation is that the NSG developed Project Kaidu, which was designed to equip public servants with the theory and practice required to unblock service delivery challenges. The program was customized for the African context and made available to other African governments for use. The second observation, the NSG has had engagements with head of departments developing public management curriculum at tertiary institutions. The aim of the engagements have been to foster integration between theory and practice and to integrate the professionalization of the public service into the curriculum. The NSG is leveraging its international partnerships to provide international learning opportunities and access to international learning hubs. Observation 4. The NSG provides education and training opportunities across the broad career path of public servants, ranging from induction to master classes offered by NSG senior fellows, amongst whom are former deputy directors. The recommendations, Chairperson. The committee recommends that the Minister should ensure that the NSG, in its engagement with tertiary education institutions, take up the State Capture Commission report recommendation of the development of a supply chain management and procurement degree level qualification. That the NSG should incorporate project management theory and practice into its learning opportunities, as the Minister has acknowledged that public sector shortage in project management skills. That the NSG extend its training interventions for traditional leaders in the art of facilitation for traditional leaders to the remaining provinces beyond KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape, in light of, for example, the role assigned to traditional leaders to participate in government structures, such as on municipal councils, in terms of the Municipal Structures Act. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Tak. Honorable members, again, in terms of Rule 114, that will be our guiding tool in terms of processing vote 7 in making decision. Can we have those members that are voting in favor of adopting the report on vote 7 doing that by through indicating by your raise your hand option?
Chairperson, I expressly vote on behalf of the Gauteng province.
Thank you. Dango,
Chairperson, Honorable Mushodi. Chairperson, Honorable Mushodi from the Free State Province.
Thank you, Honorable Mushodi. Dr. Clark, for the good purposes.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. I've noted Honorable Dango from Gauteng, Honorable Khai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Moyamang from Northern Cape, Honorable Mashodi from the Eastern Cape, Honorable Mamerkhan from Limpopo, Honorable Mashodi from Free State, and Honorable Doduvo from the Northwest as voting in favor of the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Dr. Clark, for communicating that. Honorable members lower their hands. Can we have members and provinces that are voting against the report? Honorable Dodovu, can you lower your hand? Honorable Dodovu? Yes, Dr. Clark? Honorable Dodovu? Yes, if he voted in favor, I suspect there's a delay in him taking his hand down. Yeah, let's note.
Well, Chairperson, the record shows that he votes against now. So then both votes must probably be discarded. You can't vote twice.
Let's Honorable Dodovu, can we ask him to clarify that? But in any way, we have 5 provinces that voted in favor. Then let's note the 2 that are voting against. Can members take their hands down?
You probably need to speak to your committee.
Honorable Dodovu. Okay. Can we then have members that are abstaining? Yes.
I have noted Honorable Loan from the Western Cape and Honorable Bushel from Mpumalanga as voting against the adoption of the report.
No, they're abstaining.
Sorry, Chair, abstaining from the adoption of the report.
Thank you, honorable members. Therefore, the report is duly adopted by 5 provinces. will then recommend the adoption of the report to the House. Honorable Lund, I see your hand is up. I guess it's a delay.
Sorry, Chair, that was me.
Thank you.
That was me doing it. I will remove it.
Thank you, Honorable Lund. Thank you, honorable members. We'll then move to vote 12, Public Service Commission observation and recommendation. Yes, Dr. Clark.
The first observation was the Public Service Commission was requested to provide feedback on the implementation of lifestyle audits for the public sector, and they reported that since its introduction in January 2021, 47 departments have undertaken lifestyle audits, and as of January 2022, 74 departments have undertaken lifestyle audits. Second observation is the Public Service Commission bill will be introduced to Parliament shortly. The objective of the amendment bill includes, amongst others, entrenching the independence of the Public Service Commission Secretariat and extending its jurisdiction to local government. Recall that the committee appealed to DPSA to ensure that the amendment bill is introduced without delay, to ensure that both the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces have sufficient time to process the legislation. The third observation is that the Public Service Commission will be conducting studies on the effectiveness of government support for service delivery, including a focus on accommodation and property management services. Through its engagements with the property management trading entity, the committee is aware of the dire state of many government buildings, and this report can be used to inform PMTE consideration of future priorities. The fourth observation is that the Public Service Commission will continue to conduct service delivery inspections, which are undertaken through its provincial offices. Such inspections allows the PSC to verify information, such as compliance to service standards as reported on by departments. These inspections can in turn inform the service delivery improvement plans of departments. As recommendations, Chairperson and members, that the Public Service Commission, in terms of the constitutional powers to undertake own accord investigations, identify assessments to be undertaken to assess the readiness of departments to address seasonal challenges, such as student placement at schools and disaster mitigation. The PSC undertaken an assessment of the effect of load shedding on the capacity of the public service sector, because load shedding has a negative effect, for example, loss of data and damage to servers on network supporting government infrastructure and the ability of government departments to honor operating hours. That the Public Service Commission, in assessing the commitment of the Batu Pele principles across the public service, not be limited to feedback given by departments, and can also utilize tools such as client satisfaction surveys. The fourth recommendation, that the Public Service Commission return to brief the committee on the report on the extent of utilization of headhunting processes in the public service once completed. Headhunting should only be considered after an open recruitment and selection process has been attempted to ensure fairness and openness in the public service. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Honorable members, again, in terms of Rule 104, can province indicate how they are going to vote by a show of hand? Those that vote in favor, can they do that by using the raise your hand option?
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Moshodi from the first aid, I vote in favor.
Thank you, Honorable Moshodi. Dr. Clark, for record purposes.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. I've noted Honorable Dango from Gauteng, Honorable Khai from Eastern Cape, Honorable Moyamang from Northern Cape, Honorable Mamadkhani from Limpopo, Honorable Maklodi from Free State, and Honorable Dudubo from Northwest as voting in favor of the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Members, can you lower your hand? Thank you, honorable members. Can we then have members that are voting against the report raising their hand? Yes, Dr. Clark.
Mr. Chairperson, I've noted Honorable Matebula from Limpopo as voting against the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Thank you, Dr. Matebula. Can we have members that are abstaining doing that by raising a hand option?
Yes, Chairperson. I've noted Honorable Bosho from Mpumalanga as abstaining in the adoption of the report.
Thank you, thank you.
As well as Honorable Lund from the Western Cape also abstaining.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Members, you can lower your hand. Therefore, members, the report on and vote is it vote 12? I just want to the report on vote 12 is really adopted by 6 provinces. We'll recommend the report to the House for adoption. So therefore, we have dealt sufficiently with the item that deals with the reports of the budget and APP. Can we then move to the next item on the agenda, which is the minutes of the meeting of the 10th of May. 10th of May.
Chairperson, while Enrico notes that for us, Honorable Dudubu in the chat just asked us to note that his battery is running low, Chairperson. Is it load shedding?
Okay. No, that is noted, Dr. Clark. Can you take us through the minutes of the 10th of May? That is the minutes of the 10th of May, members. It was a briefing by the Department of Planning and Monitoring and Evaluation. Those are the members that were in attendance. That is the apologies also. And then the guests that were in attendance are noted. It's led by Deputy Minister Pinky Chepkana, and the DDGs and the DGs, and also the committee staff that were in attendance to support the committee business. Those were the opening remarks that we dealt with, and then the proceedings and apologies. Open remarks by the Deputy Minister, and then the presentation that dealt with the mandate, the core functions, the vision, mission, and values, the strat plan, the priorities, and then the output, outcome indicators, and then the observation by the committee members. Then the meeting adjourned at 12:30. Any correction that members might have noticed that needed to be raised? In the absence of that, can I then get a mover for the adoption of the minutes as a true reflection of what transpired on the meeting of the 10th of May, 2023? Honorable Khair.
Thank you, Chair. I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Khair. Can we get a seconder? Seconder.
Thanks, Honorable
Chairperson, my
Chairperson. I
second is
second
Honorable
Mama
Secretary
Rekhane.
problem.
Thank you, honorable members. The minutes are therefore duly adopted. It was Honorable Tango and also Honorable Mashodi. So therefore the minutes of the 10th of May is duly adopted. Anyone against? Thank you, honorable members. The minutes of the 10th of May is therefore duly adopted. Any update on the outbound mission, Dr. Clark?
Yes, Chairperson. To report, we now have populated proposed programs from both the UK High Commission as well as the German Embassy. We had everything we need, Chairperson, now for the political approval. So we are busy now with getting the quotes so that the political approval can be finalized. The committee will report that recall that Mr. Tango has offered his assistance, Chair. But because we have everything we need for the political approval application, we want to keep him as our secret weapon or our last line of defense, Chairperson. So we are safe for now. Second report that we are busy with the political approval, Chairperson.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Any clarification questions from honorable members? I guess members are happy now with the update thus far. There was an item that I thought we might have to defer. The one that dealt with the product of the strat plan, the committee program of action, suggested that let's defer that to. We'll have a joint management committee, Honorable High, just to clear the product for our committee, respective committees to adopt. That is the suggestion that I said let's do to avoid the confusion, because I know that the product was circulated, but I think what is also critical, let's allow members to have a reflection on that, and then so that when they deal with the matter, they have sufficiently had an opportunity to deal with the product of the strategic planning session. I know time is running out, but I think I thought let's probably allow the Dr. Clark, let's make sure that there's a management meeting that is convened with our sister committee, just to finalize that, and then we take it to our respective committees.
I will do so, Chairperson.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. I guess we have exhausted the items for today, Dr. Clark.
Yes, Chairperson.
Thank you. Then on that note, honorable members, allow me to take this opportunity to indeed express a word of gratitude to all of you for ensuring that indeed the reports of the committee, the reports of our work is duly processed and adopted by the committee and taken forward to adoption by the House. It is through your dedication, through your commitment, through your zeal, the energy that you have displayed. It was a bit tough, but through your commitment, we were able to be ready for the current budgetary process that is unfolding in plenaries. And on that note, the meeting is truly adjourned. Let's meet 2 when we debate transport. Thank you, honorable members. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.